the Benue State. Institutions in Benue University, Makurdi, an incident involving students. To what extent are our tertiary campuses safe for the safety of staff and students? What are the agencies responsible doing with regards to safeguarding our tertiary institutions campuses in Benue State? And this is the subject matter we shall try to discuss on this edition of the program. And the students community, what is their position over this development and what do they want the authorities to do? I have been joined here in the studio by three panelists who will offer insights on the subject matter, and of course we'll be joined by a virtual guest as well. First, the chairman, National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, Benue State Axis, Comrade Monday Yahaya is with us on Perspectives. Welcome to the program, Comrade Yahaya.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
We also have joining us on this edition the Secretary, the Students' Union, Joseph Sawantaka University, Makurdi, Comrade Bernard Aondaka. Thank you for joining us on Perspectives, Comrade.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
We also have with us the Financial Secretary, also of the Joseph Sawantaka University of Makurdi Students' Union, Comrade Isaac Ikese. Welcome to Perspectives, Comrade Ikese.
Thank you so much for having me on the program, sir.
We'll be joined virtually by the Police Public Relations Officer for the Benue State Police Command, CSP Sewesi Anene. Our efforts to get the management or staff of the Joseph Sawantaka University to also feature on this program proved abortive as our contacts were unsuccessful. But the panelists that are with us will drive the conversation. I am Nathaniel Nongu, welcoming you to this Monday edition of the program. And if this is your first time tuning in to Perspectives, kindly be informed that it is an audience participatory program. At 10 o'clock, we allow you, the listener, to phone in on the number 0814-335-9292 to also offer your thoughts on what we are discussing. The number through which you can participate on the program, once again, is 0814-335-9292. Meanwhile, you may also participate by sending an SMS to the number 0912-699-9404. The line, once again, is 0912-699-9404. That line is also available on WhatsApp, and if you are utilizing it, please remember to include your full name and where you are sending your text from. It radio as well. We're available on Radio Garden and on social media platforms where our content is streaming. You can also download the Agate Radio and TV app from Google Play Store, which avails you the platforms of our television online, the newspaper, as well as radio. We're available on all these platforms to serve you beyond boundaries. Kindly join us to be a part of this program and, of course, the Agate Radio family, what we do here. We'll take a short breather, and once we're back, our discussion starts. Kindly stay with us. Welcome back from that short break, and thank you for staying with us. Let me begin with you, Comrade Yahaya. You are the chairman, Benue NANS Benue Axis. What are your major safety concerns regarding the safety of students in tertiary institutions in the state?
All right. Thank you so much for having me once again. I'd like to begin by explaining some concerns about the safety of students in Benue State. There's safety in campuses in Benue State. Our concern really is about security. And when I mean security, is their physical security, their emotional security, and their psychological security. And particularly in Joseph Sanwataka University, we find a situation where you hardly could differentiate between students, herdsmen, farmers in the campus, and that is because the school is not fenced. And so you could find cattle rustling around the campus, and the students don't even have identity cards. And so it becomes very problematic to identify who are the students, who are the farmers, who are even the people from the neighboring communities. So if something happens, you should be able to track, okay, where is this situation coming from? Is it coming from the student community? Is it coming from the farmers, from the neighboring, people from the neighboring communities, or is it coming from the herdsmen and all of that? So that the school is not fenced is a serious concern. And so when we interface with the management of the university, that means Joseph Takas Sanwa University, they say they have a concern that over the past 3 decades, they have been trying to get the school fenced, at least to ensure security to some extent, and prevent the influx of people who are not students, and even people who are not students coming into the campus. They should be able to say, okay, these people are not students, and monitor them carefully. So, but the problem is that the neighboring communities have disallowed them from fencing, the school. And so there are the neighboring communities have taken them to court, and there are subsisting court orders or injunctions restricting the university from fencing the school. And I think that is beyond the jurisdictional capacity of a school. There is a time where the management, the state government and even the federal government needs to come in, if it is possible for the communities and the school management to settle out of court, maybe through the intervention of the state government, and then convince the neighboring communities to give the permission to the school management to begin to fence the school. And so we share that concern. And since that concern, since it is not an option to be executed immediately, we say, okay, what is the alternative? And the alternative is the management has begun to fence the hostels within the campus. And so it has started from the north core of the campus, and it will certainly get to the south core of the campus. So as the security concern majorly in that school is that it is not fenced. And the management, according to them, they have tried all they can to get the school fenced, but the neighboring communities are not allowing them. Students, they come.
As the chairman of NAS Benue, is it just about Joseph Sawantaka University where we have an incident currently, or do you have other security concerns across other tertiary institutions, campuses in the state?
Yes, I think it is not just that university. It's virtually all the tertiary institutions in this thing. But that of the Sanwa-Taka University is of particular attention. Like Benue State University, where I study, we don't have that too much security concern, and that is because the school is fenced. And if you are going in, before you are allowed to go into the campus, you have your student ID card. And if you are a staff, you also have an ID card. You are given, a permission to go in, and upon return, you will submit that card. And there is a thorough search. There is internal security that collaborates with the security architecture outside the campus. But that adequate security, as it is found in Benue State University, is not found in virtually 90% of the campuses in Benue State. And that is our major concern. So there should be measures and structures that will guarantee adequate security in our campuses in Benue State. And this is where we call on the state government, the federal government, to intervene by prevailing on the management of the different campuses in Benue State to put in major adequate security that will ensure the safety of our students in the campus. Because without physical safety, it will impact on the emotional and psychological safety of our students, which will lead to low performance in academics.
Okay. Now, Comrade Ondaka, uh, you are also of the students' community. You're secretary of the Students' Union at Joseph Sawantaka University. Give us an understanding of how safe students feel on campuses, in tertiary institutions' campuses around us here in Benue State.
Uh, Good morning, and once again, thank you for having me here. Just as my chairman have said, I will speak particularly of Joseph Sawantaka University, where I belong to the family. This, let me say, as I've mentioned the issue of fencing, though when we talk of safety, there is security attached to it, because there must be security before there will be safety concerning student or a life of a person. As just allow me to date back of this incident that just took place recently. Last week Tuesday, around 8 p.m. So invaders invade our school and went away with some of our students, about 3 female students, off at the same level. That will tell you that our school have been suffering from insecurity for a long while, if at all, because this attack was a local attack. I tell me the local attack because at the scene there was no vehicle, not those persons came by trekking, they made away with the student and went by trekking. If at all there was security, that is, there was security agencies around our campus, this event would have happened, this thing would have taken place, because these persons made away with the student about 3 hours before security came around, which have stayed about 48 years thereabout, should have a stationary security on ground, where if anything happened, the security will rush to the attack. Because since there was no security, the students we are just students. Anything could happen, and then we just ran away for the fear and life of our lives. But if there was security on campus, maybe the security will run against these men, and maybe they will rescue these ladies. Also, as I've stayed in that university now for 4 years, I'm a 4 level student, and believe me, the first safety of a student is their identity. If you're not able to identify the student, where can you provide, where the security measures come in? It's very difficult. You discuss some of our students, mostly some of the students in our schools can't be identified, whether a student or an invader or a herdsman or a farmer, just as my last chairman have said here earlier. We don't have security, we don't have identity cards. The management, we have our student union, we have tried our best engaging the management keep on promising us that ID cards are working on it, ID cards are working. I believe ID card is the first security of a student, and I believe it's within the management jurisdiction to work upon the issue of ID card. So if at all our student, for now, if maybe in search of these ladies, on finding them, maybe we cannot find their identity, how will we then know that they are students of our school? Because they may not have identity card, which is very, very uncalled for. And as I believe as a federal institution, and as my last chairman have said here, a school like Joseph Sawantaka, this is not the only federal school we have in Nigeria. We have several federal schools institutions in Nigeria, but I believe many other federal institutions have been fenced. And if we talk of the capacity, if we cannot compare, let me say the capacity of efforts, which is in Makurdi here, is far bigger than Joseph Sawantaka, but it has been fenced. So I believe a major concern should be drawn to our institution, where the federal government can come. This is a federal institution. If the federal government should seize all land on this country belongs to the federal government, and if the federal government wants to come in and help, they should come in. There's no way the federal government giving us institution that maybe the villagers or every person they have given the issue of no fence is very, very wrong. It's not even nice hearing. If the federal government said they will build a fence today, there's no person that can stop them. So we are calling on the federal government. They should come look. Our security, our lives is at stake at that university. We can't sleep with our eyes closed because it's very, very difficult. Another incident, as a federal institution, there's a major road that passes through our school, which is very, very uncalled for. You can see there's a road from North Bank, SRS particularly, leading to Bajimba, and expressway passing through our school, where there are no checkpoints. There is any person just passing will just pass through and go, which is very, very bad. So the federal government at least should divert that road to follow another dimension rather than passing through the institution. It will be very wise, it will be security wise. So this morning I was just appearing before the radio station here, appealing to the federal government that the security of each student is at stake, and we are calling. If there's no security, there won't be education, because maybe every time we'll be facing these issues. Because maybe it's true the government may have money to pay the ransom. Maybe first they might demand for ransom, and the management may also pay. They may become, that may become a source of business to them. Maybe as they sleep over there, they will come around, pick a student and go, because they know, yes, it's a federal institution and they will continue paying. So if the federal government should put all this in place, we believe that the security of lives of the security of students at Joseph Sawon Ataka will be well secured. And for instance, for now, let me say we are schooling with herdsmen on campus that have been entering classes with us, because you will sit in the class, a cattle will come around, and the herdsman will be chasing the cattle to graze, which is very, very bad. As a normal student or as an institution, it's very, very uncalled for roaming with cattle on campus, because these very cattle, as of last week, caused a serious accident. There were some of our students, about 2 of our students, have a severe accident when they jammed these 2 cattle. So it's very, very bad. We have called on security agencies for long. They have given us promising words that they will work on it, do all sorts of things, but yet we still see herdsmen on campus. So this morning, we are just appealing to the government that this is a federal institution, it's not even a state institution. The federal government has all it takes to put all these security measures in place so that the life of our students, I myself, which am a member of the community, will be as safe. Thank you so much.
Okay. Now, Comrade Ikese, I'm with you now. Give us also your view of what you make of the safety of your colleagues, students across campuses of tertiary institutions in the state.
Good morning once again. Thank you for having me on the program. I will first of all talk about the fencing of the school, because we believe that our school is very big and it's a very federal institution. So we have been engaging with the management concerning the fencing of the school, but the VC always told us that the host community have taken them to court, of which they cannot do anything concerning the fencing of the school unless they are winning the case in the court. And we believe that if the federal government can come to intervene in this issue, we believe that the host community can give the school chance to fence the school, of which if the school is being fenced, the safety of the student will be guaranteed. And then the management can be as well able to fence the hostels around the campuses, because these girls in the hostels, they are girls, some may not be able to defend themselves. So it's very wise that the school management will fence the hostel as well. I would also like to talk about the issue of identity. Our school is a federal institution. If you can go to other institutions, before starting your lecture, your school identity card will be available for you. When you resume, they will issue it to you, and then that will serve as a means of identity. But going to our school, Joseph Sawon Ataka University, there are some students that are in 300 level now. Some of them are in 400 level now that are yet to have their school identity card, of which that is very bad, because we have the community around where our school is located, and then they have been troubling us, and right now the Fulani herdsmen are on campus, grazing on our campus, of which that is very, very bad, because the school premises is supposed to be with the staff and the students, not the Fulani herdsmen grazing on our campus. So we believe that the management can do something, can act fast, so that the student on campus will have their identity card before even starting lectures. That is my take on the issue. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now, Comrade Yaya, this incident at the Joseph Sawon Ataka University, which occurred last Tuesday, help us understand what has been the position of NANS on this development.
Well, thank you. Our position is straightforward. We want unconditional release of the kidnapped students. That is our first position. And our second position is that we have a serious concern about the intelligence of the security architecture in the state. And when I mean by the security, the intelligence of the security is that state security, without any intention to malign any agency, is that they are rather reactive than proactive. And when I mean when they are reactive is when an incident happens, that is when you begin to see them in action. The security actually is when you have the ability and the capacity to detect potential incidents or occurrence, and then you take adequate measures to foster such occurrences from happening. I'll give you an example. In Benue State University, I think I had a colleague who was studying together. He was only coming to lectures and all of that. It was at the 400 level I got to discover that he was not actually a student. He was a DSS officer. And you couldn't have predicted he was a DSS officer. So he was amidst the boys and the girls and all of that, gathering information. So when we got to know, we no longer see him in class. So the problem is what happened in Joseph Sanwa Taka University. If there was adequate intelligence within the campus, such incidents would have been, halted before it even happened. And then there is shortage of manpower within the campus. And you see that those charged with the responsibility of gathering intelligence, ensuring the safety of students within the campus, they are usually in one place. They are not placed at strategic locations in such that will allow them the ability to gather adequate information, ability to mediate when incidents happen and all of that. So our concern and our position is that the security architecture in the states and the security architecture in the campus should do more on intelligence gathering rather than on reactive approach to security threats within the campus. And that is one. And our position too is that the state government, if they don't have the jurisdictional capacity, because that is the federal university, then the federal government should come to the intervention of the school management, because the challenge they are facing is that for decades they have been unable to fence the school because of the court cases instituted by the host communities that have prevented them from embarking on the fencing project. So we want the state government, the federal government to intervene, call the parties involved, that is the management and the host communities, and mediate, if it is possible, to settle out of court or activate other measures to ensure that the host communities cooperate with the school management in order to fence the school. And when that is done, as strategic positions, we should be able to, the security, there is a security unit here, there is another security unit at this strategic location, who will be able to ensure that if you are coming or you are entering the school campus, you should have your school identity card. If you are coming as a staff, you should also have your school identity card. And another position we have, which we want to talk about very seriously, is this issue of herdsmen and cows. Are they studying in our campus? Or perhaps the cows are studying mechanical engineering. Why should herdsmen and cows be allowed to cohabit with students? And it shouldn't have even been a problem, because we have herdsmen marauders terrorizing our parents in their farms. If you go to Federal University Odugbo, for instance, the major road leading to the campus, there is incessant cases of harassment by herdsmen. You can't even have access to the community, let alone going into the campus because of this thing. So herdsmen are raping our sisters, our parents in their farms. Now they have invaded our campuses. So we want the state government and the federal government to look into this matter. So when we confronted the management, that the management would take a decisive action by preventing herdsmen from coming to our campus, what they said is that they have been doing that a number of times. And they don't want to force the herdsmen, because, for instance, in the process of forcing the herdsmen, you injure one or you get one killed, of students. So it's a case that they want to handle with care. So if the management within their own jurisdictional capacity is unable to prevent herdsmen from from roaming our campuses, we want to beg the state government and the federal government to intervene and give an executive order that herdsmen should vacate all campuses. That is our major concern. And we want these concerns addressed because we want our students to be able to sleep with their eyes closed, to read without any fear of security threats from any angle, especially from the herdsmen. Thank you.
Okay. Now, Comrade Aundaka, give us an understanding of this incident of Tuesday, how it happened on campus from findings or maybe investigations by the student union at Joseph Sawantaka University.
Okay. Good morning once again. Thank you for having me. And I just wish to explain how this incident took place, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. As the student union secretary, it was Tuesday, 25th of February, around 8 p.m. You know, normally me, I'm staying at South Core. School is being divided into cores. I'm staying at South Core, which other students are staying at Zamfara. That is not core. Around past 8, my phone rang. They called me that some students have been kidnapped. But to my hearing, I thought it was just a mere joke till several calls started coming in. Personally, as a student leader, I have to rush the scene of where it happened. On going there, I saw many students outside. When I asked, they told me that as those ladies were going to class, because from that Zamfara to the admin block, there's a route that leads the Zamfara hostel to the admin block, where students normally pass to go to class and read. So the eyewitness there told me that as he was going to class, these ladies were in his front. So within a short while, he saw there was some person at a covert that they were just lying down. So before he could know, they started dragging some of the students, the ladies. There were 4, 3 ladies and a male student. But at least as a man, the male student was able to fight and then rescue himself. And they went away with the 3 ladies. So they did not even follow a major route. There was no route where they followed because as North Core, at the back of the hostels, there's no route. It's just trees, bush, and everywhere, just till a distance before, at the extreme of the university land before you see a road. So they just do away with it and follow that way. Till when we reached there, as the course reached me, immediately I called the DSS. Because at least as a student leader, I have a contact with DSS. I called the DSS, I called the Vice Chancellor, I called our Dean of Studies at least to get security on ground. But we stayed there as students. Most of my students ran into the bush in search of this to run after them, but they couldn't make any search. They could not find any person. And due to insecurity on our campus, it was 3 hours, 3 more hours after the scene took place before security. And just to imagine, it was not even the school management that called the security. It was when the chairman of the local government, Makuti local government, that came around. After he came and heard the story, he went back to bring 2 vehicles of army that at least they were able to go into the bush in search of these men. But out of them, it was already late. They could not make any research up to today. So that is the best for investigation. That is what took place. We have heard of any quality. It came accidentally. It was we don't know whether it was a plan or something that they have planned for days before it happened, but to us, it came as an emergency. Thank you.
Okay, so as at this moment, as at this morning, Monday,
yes,
has there been any information regarding your colleagues who, from what you have said, were abducted?
Good morning. There's no concrete information because as of a day after this ugly incident happened, as student leaders, we demonstrated because we are grieved. So the VC had to tell us that we should calm down, that all measures have been in place to rescue our students. That was the promising word he gave us. The students have been located, they have been captured. So we are waiting happily that maybe before evening we should be able to receive our girls back.
Okay.
But till I speak to you, there's no information up till now.
Okay. Let me interrupt you here in the studio. We've now been joined virtually by the spokesperson for the Benue State Police Command, as Chief Superintendent of Police, Sewesi Aneneth. Good morning, PPRO, and thank you for joining us on Perspectives.
Good morning, Agate Radio.
Thank you very much for your time to join us on the program. Now, PPRO, we are discussing the safety of students in tertiary institutions campuses in Benue State. I have here in the studio panelists of student union leaders. You are aware of the incident at Joseph Sawantaka University. You confirmed this development to Agate Radio. What is the latest information you can avail the student community and Benue people?
Okay, thank you for an opportunity to talk to the Benue people and Students Union. First of all, I want to appreciate them for being peaceful while they wait for the outcome of investigations concerning the case of kidnap of their friends, their sisters. It's worrisome, but the command is investigating. And not all investigations will be revealed before the outcome. Sometimes we reveal investigations while they are in process. But sometimes we deem it necessary to wait for the end of the investigation to come up with reports or details of what is happening. So I encourage them to remain patient while they wait for the investigation report that might come at the end of investigations. For now, I also assure them that the command is doing its best to get back.
Investigation is ongoing. Has there been any contact made with the adopters of these students? And in your confirmation earlier, you said it was 2 students. The university management issued a memo indicating 3 students were adopted. So what is the true position?
Like I said, I won't want to give any details concerning that investigation. But on arrival at the school on the day of the incident, maybe because of tension, maybe the school was not cleared then. I don't know. But the information we got on arrival was that 2 students were kidnapped. So maybe one other was kidnapped before then or after then. At that time, I won't be able to say. But I am not disposed to speak about details of this investigation until it is completed.
Okay, now let's move away from the incident since you mentioned you won't avail us the details for now. But generally, what is the Benue State Police Command doing with regards to ensuring the safety of students across all the tertiary institutions, campuses we have in Benue State?
Okay, thank you. The most tertiary institutions usually liaise with the police for their security in collaboration with local security arrangements within the school. And that's what we rely on mostly. Like we said, like I always say, security cannot be left to the police alone. All of us will have to put hands on deck to make sure that security of our students is guaranteed. That's why the police works closely with the local security arrangements of any school to make sure that students are safe. But there are peculiar cases that should be given special attention, like the case of University of Agriculture that has a vast land and needs special attention because the school indeed is a large one and not properly fenced. But that notwithstanding, there's need for the school and the police to continue to work together. The school has been there for quite some time, and it is because they've been collaborating with the police and doing their best That's why we have minimal challenges. But this has happened, and it has come to teach us or to tell us something more about the school. I would like to also say that every other school, particularly tertiary institutions, they have the police both in plain clothes and those in uniform that come in from time to time when there are challenges that require the attention of the police. So we have been doing that, and our schools have been safe. Where we have special cases, we will have to pay special attention to those schools. Otherwise, most of the times, the challenges we face in schools might be challenges of maybe cultism and other offenses that young people may be involved in. Thank you.
Okay, now, PPRO, the issue of perimeter fencing, which you mentioned, apart from that, the students or union leaders that are with me here in the studio have also mentioned that the Josephs at Wantaka University, for instance, have a major road passing through the school. Is there any arrangement by the command to mount a checkpoint that gives security presence on that campus?
Now, there is more to security in tertiary institutions. The police cannot just mount checkpoints within a tertiary institution. There's a procedure for operating in tertiary institutions. What to do within the institution. That will be informed by intelligence gathered within the tertiary institution. But in the case of Uniagri, fencing of the school is a very important factor that will help to secure the school. It will limit entry and exit. If you look at Uniagri very well, Mountain or just Taka University, as it's currently called, if you mount a checkpoint in the school, you might not be able to control access because people will still come in from routes that are not regular entrance of the school. So there's need for proper fencing so that the entry and exit of the school will be controlled. I understand there's some level of fencing work going on, and that's part of strategy to check or to help security of students in the school.
Okay, before we let you go, or schools authorities in Benue State on ways, basic security tips they need to have, and as well as for the students.
Yes, I would. It is our prayer and our hope that this kind of situation will not repeat itself in Benue State. And while we hope and pray for that, there's so much we can do. We can gather information from local communities surrounding our schools on the security, the possible security threats of the school, and liaise with the police. Work with our local into every small information for granted. Whatever we get, there's need to liaise and relate with the police so that we work to prevent crime rather than have ugly incidences to respond to. So I advise us to, most institutions to, before security in terms of local intelligence gathering, to relate to the police so that when the police comes in, we'll come in to prevent rather than react to incidents that have happened. Like I said earlier, the police cannot just move into a school to operate if there's no invitation or relationship between the authority and the school. Arrangement for security in schools is a different ball game, particularly in tertiary institutions. So we can walk around schools. We can also work in schools if we get intelligence from the school about security threats. Thank you.
Maybe just arising from your submission now before I let you go again, like I keep saying, this current incident, is there any engagement between the police and the management of Joseph Sawan Taka University on how to get these students who...
Vice Chancellor of Joseph Taka University has been a close friend to the command, communicating some of these challenges and the need to increase manpower of the police around the school. He has still been with us in the fight or in the operation to release these students. So I think the school authority is doing well. First thing, immediately that happened, we received a call from the VC. And throughout this, we have been with him, we have been talking with him to assure him that the police is doing its best to bring the students back to the school.
Okay, thank you very much, Chief Superintendent of Police, CSP Sewe Sianene, Police Public Relations Officer for the Benue State Command. Thank you for your time with us on the program.
Thank you, Agate Radio, and thank you to student union leaders in the house.
Thank you. We pray the place should find solution to get these our colleagues or students get them rescued. We really appreciate your time indeed.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, sir.
You want to respond to some of the submissions made by the...
Just a question. What you ask her?
No, she's off already. It's a virtual engagement. So, okay. But if you have maybe a reaction to some of the submissions you made.
No, not really reaction, just a question.
Okay. Now, Comrade Yahaya, you listen to the PPRO. Particularly at this moment, the school has been temporarily closed. We read a memo of the university directing students to vacate their hostels. And listening to the place, she has assured the students' community that the place is on top of the situation. Are you satisfied with the response of the security agencies with regards to this development?
Well, thank you. I wouldn't want to say I am not satisfied because of the position that the security doesn't want to release sensitive information that will even be counterproductive in the measure to rescue the kidnapped students. That is because if you give out too much information to the public, the kidnappers may even leverage on that information and inflict pains on the kidnapped distinct. But we want to pretend to believe that they have the technological wherewithal to ensure that they track the location of these kidnappers and ensure that the students are in safe hands. That is these things. So, but
insofar as they remain with their captors or their adopters, definitely they are not in safe hand because they have not had their freedom, right?
Sure. So what we're saying is that in as much as where it doesn't harm, they are also in a state of threat because of the prolonged, detention of our students. So whatever they are doing, what we are telling them is that they should expedite action to ensure that the students are no longer held hostage. That is our main concern. And we want to plead the state government and the federal government to give them the wherewithal and every support that the security in Benue State need to get the students released in time. So if they don't have the technological tools, the federal government can come to their aid. What we want is that let our students be released. That is our position. And we also like to let the state security architecture know that they should do more on intelligence gathering and embark on preventive measures rather than reactive measures. We will be happier with that approach than a reactive one. Thank you.
Okay. Now, Comrade Ikese, within the student union community, do you guys have any internal intelligence gathering with the security threats on your campus, first cards, as well as the lack of perimeter fencing? How sensitive are your colleagues to issues of security on campus?
So, sorry, can you like?
Okay, I'm wondering whether at the level of student union you have any internal measure to sensitize your colleagues on issues of security on campus to be aware of their safety measures.
Sorry, I still don't understand it.
Yes.
Okay,
Let me comment.
okay, Comrade Ondaka.
You have seen there within the student union whether you have there are measures who are put in place for the security to our students to know that yes, there's security consciousness on campus.
Yes.
Yes. In the issue of identity card, personally, as student union, I believe there is the issue of management and the students who have been engaging the management on, let me say, on a daily or weekly basis, having meeting with the management, and sometimes they tell us that the delay is coming from the ICT, which even at the happening or at the before this incident took place, we spoke with the vice chancellor. He told us that upon resumption from this mid-break, the ICT director will be facing the student directly to produce his ID card. But just as student union want that this production should be prompt as of next time. Once somebody is starting, once someone is being given admission and is being matriculated, the ID card should be issued in time. If you go to University of Lafayette here, once they are being admitted and they are matriculated, the ID card is being issued to them. But our case is always different. So our student union will keep troubling the management, and to an extent we even wish if the management can hand over this production of ID cards to the student union, let the union be producing the ID card for students. Because I believe if the unions they are being, let me say, they are being looked upon by the management, if the union fails to produce ID card, the management can caution the union because we are students under them. But for now, if the management cannot produce the ID card, we cannot go with force, rather than maybe sometime we can only protest and that will be all. But as students, if we fail to produce the ID card, at the end of the day, they will hold us accountable, and maybe they will be the fear that maybe we will not graduate, we will be able to produce the ID card in time. So we just wish that if the management is unable to handle the issue of ID card production, it should be released to the student. And that is why we have been telling our students on every day that they should calm down. We are working on the issue of identity card. And concerning the issue of you mentioned of two things, ID card and issue of security. What is?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of whether you are sensitizing your colleagues
Yes.
to be responsible.
I believe if not for the sensitization we are giving these students, the school would have been shut down, maybe would have been broken down by now. Because at the happening of it, they are very, very grave, and others want to destroy things. But we keep sensitizing them, keep advising them, telling them that they should calm down, the union is working on it. And to the best of my knowledge, and we have been engaging with the vice chancellor, let me say hourly, to know the state of this happening. And as we engage with the management, we engage with our students. That's why we keep entering, telling them, even we have social media platform, we are sensitizing them hourly to tell them that this is what is happening, they should calm down. As of this morning, there were calls everywhere that are we going to resume after, let me say, it was just a 1 week break.
Yes.
So they were asking that, is the break going to be extended or we are going to resume as said? We told them yes. For now, there's no extension yet. So they should prepare their thing to resume in time because we are also working on it. So we believe we are sensitizing them, and that's the reason why our school is still intact. If not for the sensitization, I believe the protests we had wouldn't have been a peaceful demonstration. Thank you.
Okay. Now, Comrade Yahya, we also got information that when this happened, the student union at Joseph's Wantaka University protested, and from fillers, maybe the management may have given the mid-semester 1 week break as a result of the protest. Do you think it was the best measure?
Well, before I respond to that, I want to quickly amplify what he has just said about the student union putting measures in place to sensitize the students on how to be security conscious in campuses. You know, sometimes we organize programs and the programs are usually tagged security of students in campuses. We usually invite the security agencies to come and sensitize, our students on how to be security conscious in campuses. We must tell ourselves the truth. The security of people cannot be left in the hands of only the security agencies. Students, is that, for instance, you are in a department, you should be able to be familiar with your classmates. You should know them. And so when you see an unfamiliar, face, you should be able to maybe tell the course rep. The course rep, based on chain of leadership, should be able to tell maybe the departmental president or the lecturer, so that they'll begin to monitor the movement of such unfamiliar faces in campuses. And for instance, if not just in a department, if you notice any strange movement, they should have a centralized phone number within the campus where they can make such reports to movements and unfamiliar faces within the campus, so that the local security architecture within the campus can monitor such movements and faces, closely. And then to respond to your question,
yes,
where the management released a memo and given a 1 week break. Well, I wouldn't fault that, and there are reasons I wouldn't fault that, because the students are aggrieved, they are angry, and there is tendency for them to protest. And not the protest is bad in the strictest sense of it, but there are tendencies for such protests to be hijacked by hoodlums, especially the host communities. And when that is done, there is every likelihood that the entire university may be brought down. So I wouldn't fault, that memo. But what we are saying is that memo should not be extended, because one, it will get students to spend more, it will get them frustrated, and those staying at home, they may be tempted to go into other,
To even disrupt the academic calendar.
It will disrupt the academic calendar and all of that. What we want from the management is that 1 week is enough to put in place security measures and tell students to come back to campus. Why they work assiduously or to release the kidnapped students. So, to summarize it, the memo was not wrong, but it shouldn't be extended. We want our students back on campus with adequate security measures in place to guarantee their safety while they work on bringing back the kidnapped students. Thank you.
All right. Dear listener, if you are just tuning in, you are listening to Perspectives on iGate Radio 95.5 Star FM Makurdi. Our discussion on the program is focused on the safety of students on tertiary institutions campuses in Benue State. And a few minutes away at 10 o'clock, you can participate on the program by phoning in on number 0814-335-9292. The number once again is 0814-335-9292. Once you connect with us at 10 o'clock, we'll be interested in knowing your full name and where you're calling from. Then you make your submission. Keep it very brief and civil, as well as without inflaming passion. The number for SMS is 0912-699-9404. 0912-699-9404. The number is also available on WhatsApp. And let's remind you, the views and opinions of our panelists on this program, including those of the callers, are totally their view. We'll take a quick breather, and once we are back, we'll start engaging with you, the listener. Kindly stay with us. welcome back from that short break, and thank you for staying with us. The number to phone in on the program once again is 0814-335-9292. 0814-335-9292. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, I must appreciate the opinion this way. It to be proactive by now in terms of security. They should always have measures to prevent further hijacking of the security right of citizens and of their students. We are into a world that enemies are always around to hijack ones who are aspiring to have responsible qualities in the country. If the authority should be listening, I believe they have been hearing of security breaches in other states of the Federation and within Benue as well, meaning that they should be able to have measures to avoid prevalence of this insecurity we are experiencing in our country now. From the aspect of government, it is their duty and also the individual to work collaboratively to bring forward to avoiding those who are coming in. When it goes to tertiary institution, more especially the UNAGRIC, you discover that a lot of villagers flows in and out, hiding the security portrait of that management and their students. I'm appealing to government and the school authority to work closely, proactively in putting in security architecture to avoid the reoccurrence of this. And that should also be a message to other institutions to reallocate their security architecture to prevent this counterproductiveness we are experiencing today.
Okay.
Thank you and good morning.
Thank you, Abraham. We appreciate your submission. Okay. Other schools should also learn a lesson from this experience to foster it from happening on their campuses. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Nat.
Thank you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, you are on. Speak to us.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, if you can't hear us, I'm afraid we may have to disconnect. 0814-335-9292. Once you connect with us, please endeavor to move away from your radio set because if it interferes, it may be difficult for you to hear us. Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Agate Radio and the panelists on the discussion.
Thank you.
This is Ogbete Caleb Peter calling from behind OCBN layout.
Thank you, Ogbete Caleb. Go ahead.
The issue of kidnapping in Johnston is a very challenging issue. We should not emphasize on the kidnapping of only students. The lecturers and even other staff, they are not safe with this development. The point I want to make is that we are not proactive. You see, when ASU begin to agitate for something, people begin to insult ASU. ASU is selfish. This is one of the outcome of the agitation. If there is proper funding in our tertiary institution, at least strategic locations will be provided with security and vehicle. Like, I know much about Justin. We have a strategic location at the gate, South Core and North Core. If security are at alert, this issue would have been curtailed. So we have to be proactive. Government has to be proactive in addressing security challenges in our tertiary institution. Again, the local security, they are doing well. But there is something that I am aware that when you give them certain allowances, it gives the local security a moral booster to perform more work. There are so many things that are lacking since we're a tertiary institution joined IPPIS. There is no money to do these things. There is no money to do these things. Federal government needs to come in seriously. Like the local security, there are some certain allowances they are supposed to give them to enable them to perform optimally. They are not giving them, like hazard allowance. But when it happens like this, they will begin to blame security, they begin to blame management, but the fault is from federal government. So please, let federal government come in and address this issue properly. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Thank you, Ogbeche. We appreciate you. Federal government should come in and address the issue properly. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Morning, this morning.
Welcome.
There's Tertiary on the line.
Okay, Terry Gav, where are you reaching us from?
Yes. Actually, what happened in Unagric is a very bad incident. And for me, I'm looking at it that it has been started before in secondary school, which is what happened in Chibo. And it continued being up to this movement, the tertiary institution again. It has been happening across Nigeria.
Hello. Okay, Terry, we lost connection with you, but the line is still available. 0814-335-9292. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives. Hello, good morning. Okay, you're on, but we can hear you. 0814-335-9292. If you're not able to connect to the call line, simply send us an SMS to 0912-699-9404. Good morning and thank you for joining us. Hello. Good morning. Okay, yet again, we can hear you. Sometimes the network could be frustrating, but we're here for you, and the line is available if you're able to connect with us. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good morning. This is Tehidi. I'm calling from OGRE.
Okay.
Before I will do this, because we, your audience, we are going to sanction you because of your absence on Friday. Oh, all right, okay. Let me focus on what we're here for. About this insecurity, we have never heard about. In those days, we used to hear about all those things, about kidnapping, all those things from Delta and other states. Then how come? What's going on here in Benue State? So those are the questions I'm asking. I always ask myself, what is happening? I was thinking maybe it's political something, but no. There is something behind. So our security, they should put this thing together and save the students. Our students, they are not safe. How safe are they? Okay, just imagine, I heard that there is a road that links straight inside the compound, the campus, down to the other distance. I thought they would just fence the place and make it more safer. And my opinion is this: we should stop taking dialogue. We should not be taking dialogue with all those bandits. Once you are bandits, once they arrest you, they should take you to court and judge you and do the right thing. We should not be, even if you surrender.
Okay.
But they should take action on you. That's my opinion, and thank you for everything.
Thank you, Tehidi. We appreciate you for calling in and your opinion. Hello, good morning. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Good morning, my good brothers over there.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you all. I greet everybody there.
Yes, we greet you too, sir. If you may kindly turn down the volume of your radio set.
My name is Tertiary Offensives from Nima.
Okay, sir.
Greek people, 8 men is studied with inner Greek. In fact, it's a very big sad to hear it. 8 men is on inside a Greek. Oh. And again, why students catch now? How do you identity card in that school? In fact, I don't know what I will say. As far as our Oga Tinubu and Shekima is a Muslim, I think there's nothing. They will support them. There's nothing I can talk again. That is 8 men with a student. inside agric university. I don't know how I would say it. I'm annoyed.
Okay, thank you, sir. Please don't be annoyed. We want to find solutions. So if you're annoyed, we should find a solution. Thank you so much for calling in. So many posers, the rhetorical, we do not find answers to them. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. It's Collins Odike for calling from Manune, Taka local government.
Okay, Collins, go ahead.
Thank you. To me, I was in the university the other day, and I saw how herdsmen were grazing around the campus. And I keep wondering what would have brought herdsmen grazing inside campus with students. But this is how these people have invaded our community. Over 70% of the community in Benue State is full of herdsmen. And this particular kidnapping activity, as I'm suspecting, is not far from their evil deed. So I'm now appealing to Benue State Governor. Let him enforce our anti-open grazing law rather than quoting false figures to discredit the immediate past administration.
No, Collins.
Otherwise,
Hello,
famine is...
Collins.
Sir?
Collins. On this program for today, we are discussing the safety of our students, and whatever you have, you're not satisfied with what the governor is doing, is not to call it force, because we have not done verification to be sure what you are saying. So just stay on our discussion and keep the governor away from it.
So, thank you, sir. Anyway, let the school management do their very best, and I pray to God to have those kids released safely.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you, Collins. We appreciate you. That should be the prayer of everyone, that we get the students rescued unharmed. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Welcome to Perspectives. Thank you, sir.
Yes. My name is Jonathan Ichavi.
Good to
I'm
yes.
calling from North Bank.
Okay, sir. Go ahead.
Yes. I just want one thing I want to know. Are those cattle grazing on the belong to the university? You know, it's a University of Agriculture, so they can have cattle for practicals.
Yes.
If they belong to them, I suggest that they keep them in one place, fence them, and give them food there. If they are not, if they do not belong to the university, but they are herdsmen doing it, they should do something to get them off. It is the duty of the governor. You are too protective when we come to talk about this. You don't want your radio to be known to. We're talking something that government has to do it. The second thing is, may I just slightly educate one of the student union who thinks that land belongs to the federal government. It doesn't. It belongs to the state government. So again, it is the duty of the state government to ensure that the villagers do not encroach on the university's land or stop them from fencing their land. After the land has been given to them, compensation has been paid. Why can they stop them from fencing what belongs to them? I know it may be inconvenient because they may have to. It may be inconvenient to them. But for security purposes, that fencing is necessary. And I plead with my friend, as he told the VC, ensure that everybody who belongs to that university has an ID card, starting from him. That's the first step of security, to control people coming in. That I'm shocked to hear that some students do not have ID cards.
Okay.
That is surprising.
Thank you, sir.
The security in the university is slack. Let's call a spade a spade.
We thank you for your opinion, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We believe the authorities are listening and should do what is needed. We'll get to find out whether the cattle you stated they belong to the university, but that'll be after this engagement. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Yes, Terry got back on the line again.
Okay, Terry Gav, you called in earlier, but you didn't tell us where you were calling from. Maybe that was why the
Okay,
network
sorry,
disconnected you.
I'm calling from International Market, Makodi.
Okay.
Yes, just like I was earlier being mentioned concerning the Chibok kidnapping and being in the secondary school and now in the tertiary institution, I think there's a more effort to put on the security around the nation. One, if happened that the security architecture of a university or any tertiary institution or any given community as a members of the people in the country, I think has to be one being passed by the law or from the Senate or House of Rep or from House of Assembly. For instance, now you can see the security. We have never, since Nigeria has been engaged into security issues, we have never heard that a Senate has been kidnapped or House of Rep or any of those high-ranking. And how many of them, if you bring the number of those people to the number of the ordinary Nigerians, the ordinary Nigerians are more than them. That is how them being consulted. So for me, I'm looking at it that they should look into the security of members of Nigerians. Please and please, that if they are hearing us and if this program on radio being read up to this we hear, and my sincere prayer is that whatsoever where those people are being kept, where those our students are being kept, may the Almighty God bring them back for us. We need them. And because they are future of tomorrow. That is my take on this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. I appreciate you for calling in. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Yes. I am Takuluku Anyamazinga from Boko.
Which part of Boko, Takuluku?
Abetse Mbayion.
Okay.
Yes. I must greet and appreciate the panelists in the studio.
Thank you. Takuluku,
yes.
Go ahead.
Yes. It is very sad and shameful hearing that the students are being kidnapped in this state because it has been a while. Insecurity has been the cause of the day, and we are feeling very sad about this. It is the duty of the government to secure its citizens and its properties. The previous government has been trying. The incumbent government also has to try and secure this state. But failing to do that, we will term the government insecure, we will term the government infunctional, or anyhow we will term the government. So the government should put all the measures in place to secure this state. Our students are not safe. It is worrisome. The government is to secure its citizens. So the government should put measures in place to secure our students. It's shameful. It's annoying.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Takuluku. Government should bring in more efforts to secure students, secure campuses. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Could you speak up? You sound so low.
Okay. My name is Tefai. I'm calling from Kyoto, Takaroka government.
Okay. Tefai, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Our opinion to this kidnapping children from university. I'm just begging government to bring down people back so that it's no good to Benue State like that kidnapping. It's very bad to hear that thing for this Benue State. No good. I'm just begging government to bring them back. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tifa. Okay. Tifa is also begging on government to intervene. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Okay, you're on, but your voice is not coming through. The SMS line is also available. If you're not able to connect to the line, simply send us an SMS to 0912-699-9404. Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, please. It's Benjamin Egege calling from Yagba, North Bank, Makodi.
Okay.
First and foremost, I want to defend an allegation that students in University of Agriculture do not have identity cards.
Okay.
I was once a student there.
Hello, Benjamin.
Yes, please.
You are defending from the point of view of a management staff of the school, or what?
I was a student of that school, and I had identity card. We all had identity card.
Okay, go ahead. Just make your point, but don't time it as defense, because speaking from the point of view of defense,
it's all right, but I don't want the management to be accused of not providing identity cards.
The law people will say you lack the locus.
Anyway, it's okay. Exactly. But I want to let the public understand that students there have identity cards. I said they do not want to use it. Secondly, on the security situation in Nigeria as a whole, the government has everything to be blamed, because in fact the security is porous. I mean, the security is porous. Go to the roads. University of Agriculture is very large indeed. I cannot imagine why, with over 200 staff, security staff, they cannot monitor students while reading in the night. They cannot monitor people that enters the school and go out, even during school. At the gate, at the main gate, or whichever entrance that enters the school. So if anything happens, the government has to be blamed, and the government starts right from the University of Agriculture there. What about the policemen? Even when they see people on the road, they only straight their hands and collect money and allow people to go. They don't care to know what is in the vehicle. They don't care to know whether people are kidnapped and bundled in the car there. All they need is to get some money and go. So the government should sit up and do something. That is my take.
Okay, thank you, Benjamin. I appreciate you for your take.
Can we say something?
We'll come to that. Let's engage with a few more persons and then we'll come back. I know you are itching to give a counter response to Benjamin in particular. Hello, good morning. Hello. We lost connection with that person. Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to Perspectives.
Okay, my name is Favor and I'm calling from Atlanta.
Okay, Favor who?
Favor Joseph.
Okay, go ahead, Favor.
Okay, I'm actually a student of Justin. And then talking about ID card, the person that just finished talking online was saying management provide ID card and all that. I'm in 200 level, and then since my 100 level will be asking for this ID card, and ID card, but the response we receive is just looking as if they don't even want to give it to us. And aside from that, we have security in school, and the only thing they know how to do is, okay, you didn't dress well, your hair is not cut, and then sometimes even when you go there with your problem, okay, maybe your thing is stolen or what, they will leave the main case while you are there to report, and then they will go to your physical look. Why are you dressing like this? Why is your hair like this? So the truth is, our security in school, sorry to say, but I don't think they are doing their job properly. They are just about criticizing the students instead of looking at their main problem. So I think our securities in school should also know their job and then help us to also help the school, because they are not helping us. Even when we go there for our problem, they will leave the problem and then focus back on us. They are not, well, why are you doing like this? And that the truth is, the thing is not even helping us. From the when you get to the gate, nobody's asking you for ID card. They will not ask you. People at the gate will not ask you. So even if you have ID card, people at the gate are not asking. So will you just bring out your ID card and start showing because you have ID card when you're not asked? So the truth is, the management are not giving us ID card, and people at the gate said they don't even ask for it. So the school manager
for sharing your experience with us on Perspectives. Thanks for your opinion.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that's the beauty of this program, the engagement it gives. And anyway, all that we are saying here, we are open to a response from the management if they have. right of reply. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. Hello.
Okay, good morning, Nathan in the house. Good morning, Jess in the house.
Good morning.
My name is Tefa Esti, calling from KN, northwest part of Nigeria this morning.
Okay, Tefa, go ahead.
You see, this issue of insecurity, one cannot close with two eyes. This thing has been deviling all the economy, both social, whatever. In the church, they used to kidnap people. In the NYC, they used to kidnap people. Children are not left out. So this country now has turned to anarchy. Let me just put it like that, because the democracy that we are yearning for, truly, our leaders are not portraying. How can a school, a well-known school with high security, those people will invaded it and they will carry out this perpetrate act? Where are we heading to? Okay, now, what is happening? Planning invasion. People cannot go to their farm. People cannot sleep with their two eye rest in their home. So to me, government need to redouble their efforts so that I can call this thing once and for all. I think by doing that, we have a better nation. Or what we are seeing today, it's only God. That is my take this morning. Thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you for your position, Tefa. Let's take some messages before we come back. This one says, good morning, presenter and guests in the studio. The security challenges in Uniagric is more focused on land. The land is too huge and the school management is still fighting the community for more land, of which they can't fence the land because it is too large. My advice is that the school management should fence the land so that even the herdsmen will not have access to the school. Comrade Omasi Humphrey from North Bank in Makodi. Omasi, thank you. Another one says, as in any neighborhood, it is important that the students, faculty, and staff should realize they should take every possible precaution against assault and crime against themselves or others. My opinion is to urge security agencies to secure the release of the adopted students. Also call on members of the public with relevant information. Most importantly, I pray for the safe release of our 3 adopted students. May God Almighty watch over them, protect them, and bring them back alive. Thanks. I'm Jonah Tehil Benjamin from Naka, West Local Government. Jonah, thank you for your message. This one said, kidnapping encompasses to take somebody away illegally and keep them as prisoners in order to get money or something for returning them, although government can make it a close need to control the situation. Good morning, panelists. Isaac Utsua from Sejime. Okay, Isaac, thank you. You're giving us definition of kidnapping. Well, thank you anyway. Good day, the presenter and guests in the studio. The issue of security is a major canker one in Nigeria, general and Benue in particular, but individuals, communities, state and federal governments pay less attention to it as a cybersecurity policy and strategy is not properly put in place. For me, and I believe many citizens, especially the youth, are being self-employed. Hence, political leaders fail to meet their demand. Finally, how can a federal university student be kidnapped without a way of tracking such evildoers? May God help us. Nyajo Godwin from Bajimba, Guma Local Government. Nyajo, thank you. Your position. This one says, as unfortunate as the Justin situation is, it must be emphasized that security on our campuses cannot be considered in isolation of security of the environment. As long as our cities, towns, villages, forests, highways, waterways, etc. are insecure, our campuses cannot be safe. Government measures such as a Safe Schools initiative is commendable, but much more needs to be done. Closer collaboration between schools and security agencies, innovation and use of technology will go a long way to improve the situation. My sympathy to Justin community and parents. Thank you. Gabriel Onyilo from Onokupiya Extension, Makudi. Gabriel Onyilo, we thank you. Good morning. It is quite devastating and appalling to have such an edifice open to insecurity, threatening the lives of the students and staff. The recent adoption of students in the university campus is a clear indication that our children, family members working in the university are not safe, the federal government should swiftly provide prototype measures that will contain the growing fear pending when final approach is proffered. Sehemba Todwe from AP in Makudi. Sehemba, we thank you for your message. Those are the ones we are able to accommodate for now. We'll take more later on. Good morning and
Hello.
welcome to Perspectives.
Good morning.
Morning.
This is the voice of Ahera James Tinengi, the
Okay.
500 level from my electrical department, Joseph Sawan Tara University.
Okay, I didn't get the name quite very well.
Ahera Tinengi James.
Ahelan Tenenge.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Tenenge, where are you reaching us from?
From North Bank, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Sir, concerning the insecurity in our university, we need some measures. Firstly, the external security on campus cannot do anything without colliding with the internal security, I mean the local security on campus. And the local security on campus here are not competent. Their age, we talk about their age cannot permit them to be active. You see them when they are on duties, most of the times they are sleeping, or even if something is happening, they cannot react to it. Secondly, concerning the issue of ID card, I want to urge the school management, once our students or our fellow students are matriculated, let ID cards be reproduced for them. Hello?
Yes, you are on, Tenenge. We're listening to you.
Yes. And thirdly, we have a road linking from North Bank, SRS, I overheard the state command Tertiary saying the school authority cannot permit them to have checking point service. Anybody, there is no checkmate. 21. When I was in year 1, a student was kidnapped from the same college of engineering. That was when Professor Kimby was the vice chancellor of the university. A student was kidnapped from College of Engineering, and the ransom was paid before he was released. So I want to urge the school management to do everything possible to release our girls.
Okay.
Alive and safely.
Thank you. Thank you, Tenenge.
Thank you, sir.
We appreciate you. Okay, let's pause on the course temporarily. What is interesting that the students' community also have an opinion apart from the panelists. Now, Comrade Yahaya, you were itching to say something. I took you long, but I'm here finally. Let me have your thoughts. You have listened to many of the callers, and I think the point where you wanted to raise issues with Benjamin Egege, who spoke on the issue of ID cards in defense of the university. He said he wanted to defend the allegation.
I think the next caller actually normed his position. He was speaking in past tense. He said he was a student, right?
Yes.
And so the next caller said she is a 200 level student of the university, and for 2 years she has not been given a student ID card. That was at the point I wanted to react. It was like, okay, when I was a student, this was what was happening, and that culture is sustained to the moment. That is quite wrong. And we thank the next caller who normed his position. As we speak, and this is a secretary of the student union government who is very much on ground in terms of what is happening at the moment in that campus. So as we speak, the students, in a larger number of students in that school don't have ID card, and that is wrong.
Anyway, I have no reason to disbelieve you. For instance, if our invitation on the part of management were honored, we would have had then counter whatever you're saying. But as we stated, we may be open to any right or reply if they feel they should have one. Now, you want to say something, Secretary Student Union?
Good morning once again. I thank the caller that called after the ancestor, that is the alumni, the great Macaulay and Benjamin. But as a student union secretary, I just wish to react to what I have said. He said he was defending, but I also said as the incumbent secretary and as a student of Joseph Sawan Taka, as we speak, I will also defend my student by saying we don't have ID cards. I know as a foreign level student, I know my mates. I don't know if the ancestor is still hearing me, but I know of my mates who are foreign level, which they are always on my neck, that Secgen we don't have ID card. I believe these are things that if the alumni should say that as of then they were using ID cards and now they can defend the management that all students have ID card. As an alumni of the institution, he can come in. There's a room for them because I believe alumni have a union. And if the alumni say that yes, their undergraduates are crying, they should come into the institution and then ask questions. Truly, the management, are you not giving these students undergraduate ID cards? I believe the management will hear them more. Because there are some times as undergraduate who cannot stand and face the management, or sometimes they may use grammar to finish us. We will not have anything to say, but as alumni, they are equal to them to stand and face them. So I just urge or encourage our ancestors, one of them, Benjamin, that if at all he could come to the school and then ask questions, and then before he can stand boldly to defend the management. Thank you. And from the caller, there was a caller that was asking to know whether the kettles belong to the management or to the school, or they are from herdsmen. I will stand boldly to tell the caller that the kettles from the herdsmen and the management, the kettles from the university campus, university are being tagged. Once you see them, their ears are being pierced and they are being tagged, being labeled on their body. So you know that yes, these are the ones that belong to at the university. Because I'm speaking this because I'm a foreign level student and I'm opportunity to be an animal scientist. I'm a student from animal sciences, and I know much more of animal cattle that belongs to the university. So we know very well, and the people that move around with this cattle that we're calling herdsmen, they are more. If you look at me and you, if you look at the field animal, you know, yes, this is a field animal. Yes, we are old enough to identify a field animal. And
in any case, for the purpose of our engagement on the program, anybody can rear cattle, even you yourself.
Yes,
can rear. So
but what I'm saying
is
that the kettles of the university are being tagged.
Okay.
They are differentiated from the ones who are tending the herdsmen. If you see the turtles that we should tag our kettles or animals, so they are being tagged. So I just want to clarify the fact from the caller that called to know whether the kettles belong to the university community or they are herdsmen. We'll have herdsmen grazing with us on campus. Thank you.
Okay, now, Comrade Ikese, you also listened to many of the callers who phoned in, including some who said they are students, like Favor Joseph, who called in from Achusa, alleged that even the school's internal security need to rather go after the appearance of the students. Is it true that the school security is not given adequate attention to issues concerning the security of your students, as alleged by her?
Thank you so much, sir. What Favor just said is actually true, because me too, I wanted to talk about what he said, actually. The internet security, those people, they are old. Like their age, they are old enough to retire. Because as the internet security, they are the one first to react to any security issue that is on ground, on campus. So when any security issues arrive and then you approach them, because of their age, they can't react to it fast as supposed. Yeah. So
there was a security man that asked, "What do you want to do?"
When this incident arrived, they went to him. They told him that some students were kidnapped, and then he asked the student that report that what did the student expect him to do. So on that note, we are still pleading with the management and that they should also look into the issue of the internet security on campus, because they are the one to attend to any issue on ground before any external security. So the school management should strengthen the internet security so that it will help the student and then the community at large. Thank you.
I think
Yes.
to add to that, the recruitment process of the internal security in the campus is deeply flawed. You know, sometimes they compensate the host communities.
Yes, yes,
Those
yes.
who could rise up against the decision of the management and all of that. In order to silence them, they give appointment to the host communities, you know, just to settle them, not because they are competent or not because they have experiences in order to at least guarantee the security of the campus, but they just give the appointment based on other considerations
Like a
rather than
compensation.
competence, experience, and capacity. And so we urge the management to, subsequently, in recruiting security personnel for the internal security structure, they should give priority to competence, experience, and capacity rather than any other sentimental considerations.
Okay. Good morning, and thank you for staying on.
Yes, my name is Tewas. I'm calling from Akwa.
Welcome, Tewase. Which part of Makudi?
Yes, high level to be precise.
Good.
And I'm talking as one of the parents. I feel threatened when I hear about issue of security, that's what is happening in United today. And the reason is simple. You don't politicize security. You don't compromise issue of security. I'm afraid that school needs to be fenced without any fear or being afraid of anybody that might stop there from fencing. That school needs to be fenced. That road passes through the school there. There is no way a road will pass through the school there and then you say security is surely guaranteed. There's no way. That road they have to close that road. That is the moment. They should fence that school for crying out loud. And the issue of how will you check them and know if this person is a student or not? And so if the school management is listening to what they are saying or the complaints that people are talking about, we should stop pretending for crying out loud, please. That same school has to be fenced. The number one. Number two, on the radio. Please.
Okay.
Because I'm not comfortable with what is happening.
Thank you.
As a parent.
All right. Thank you for feeling concerned as a parent. Thank you, Tewase. Okay. A few more messages, and then we'll try to draw concluding thoughts because our time is no longer there, but just one more call. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Good morning.
Thank you, sir.
The guest in the Agate Radio.
Thank you.
This is Uncle Matthew Nyam.
Okay, good to have you join us, sir. Where are you reaching us from?
From North Bank.
All right.
I really appreciate the program.
Thank you, sir.
You see, I always start by saying we always try to look at the consequences. One, let's look at the landmass of the school. And then we look at the ratio of security to students. If a school is having about 8,000 students, what do you think should be the ratio of the security to the student? At least a security man to 10 students. And then in developed countries, you look at how the economy is being driven. Here, the Trump administration has now frozen all the USD, all the NGOs have now been frozen. This has also added to security threat in our country. The students that are being graduated year in, year out, that have no job, is a threat to security challenges. Then the police. Look at the entire North Bank. If you come to federal housing, down to Unagric, down to Katungu, you don't find any policeman. How many police are in North Bank? How many policemen? So they were looking at the consequences. Let the government now go back to the drawing board. If you are there to employ or admit 8,000 students, ensure that you have over 1,000 security on the ground. This will help us. If not, you see some dismissal by politicians, those that are trained and used and dumped. All these things are causing all this kind of problems. If you talk on the issue of identity card, people disguise themselves in police uniforms and soldiers' uniforms, and then rob and go away in Nigeria here. They even carry vehicles that are branded as police or army. These things are happening. So we are only looking at the consequences, the root causes of this. Let's look at the economy, how it's being driven, how people are surviving, and then see how we can go about it. All this Yahoo that I've seen, because of the people who are working in the bank that were dismissed, they are the people doing all this kind of things. So this is where the security challenges are coming. And we should look at it properly. We should go back to the security architecture of the country and see how we can tackle these issues.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate your time, sir. Thank you very much for your time. Okay. That will be the last call we will take on the program because our time is no longer there. Let's take some messages before we come back. My heart goes to the management of the university and family members of those kidnapped students. As an old student of the institution, it is devastating that my precious school is in the bad news. The school management should tighten the security and employ more competent hands to handle the security affairs of the institution. I suggest the school should also engage the services of some technological security devices to help secure the environment. May God bring all the students back safely. Auran Festus Oshana, former SU aspirant 2018. Okay, thank you, Auran. The federal government should intervene by fencing the designated environment, part of the effort to checkmate the security. The already existing insecurity formation, however, the safe release of the students remains paramount. Therefore, responsible citizens should not blame the governor for security mismanagement, even for the property belonging to the federal government. Remember, the governors have limitations over conventional security architecture. Federal government should decentralize the command of federal mention. Abraham Iti, North Bank. Okay. Thank you very much. Those are the last messages we will take on the program. And now our time is to wrap up. Let me begin with you, SU Secretary, Mr. Comrade Ondaka. With the situation as it is now, what are the immediate measures you would like government as well as your school to take apart from assuring this release of your colleagues to prevent this in the future?
Thank you so much. I believe I will speak and I will not speak again.
Yes, briefly.
And firstly, I will contain the internal security. I will start from here and I will go in. Concerning the internal security, I believe for this internal security, they have not been armed. They don't have anything to run against attack. But I believe small arms can go a long way. If these internal security are provided with things like catapult, I believe there's no issue to catapult. If anybody if an attack is being made, I think they can run after it, either catapult or torchlight. And then there should be fast dissemination of information. Because sometimes when the student reach these security agencies, the information will not reach the other ones sometimes in order to run promptly to this attack. So there should be fast dissemination of information. And then I would also like to urge the management that if there are light posts, these tall light poles that they can be stationed some meters away from the hostel, such that if invaders are invading from afar, students can locate or security agencies, internal security can be able to sight them. And then, lastly, I would like to appeal to the state government, because I believe the state government is the eyes of the federal government, which our school happens to find itself here. The federal institution, we are federal students. The president, we are appealing that he should send in security to be tight on our campus so that this very ugly incidents will not repeat itself again. It has become a culture that every VC that is on seat, a student will be kidnapped. We just wish to appeal the federal government that this should be the last time and our students should be safe and they should return back to classroom as also continue their lectures. Also, we wish to appeal to the management that they should do every possible means, just as my nurse Jesus once said earlier, that 1 week is enough for them to put all measures in place and students will return back to campus. Let the holiday not be extended after the 1 week break. And then, I don't know if the PPRO shall be off bed. I just wish to leave this question to her. Maybe she should get to her. How soon can we continue to wait for our students to get back, their adopted ladies? Thank you so much.
Okay. Now, Comrade Ikese, this will also be your concluding thoughts. How can students themselves contribute to ensuring their safety and to be more security conscious on campus?
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. To my fellow student out there, student in Joseph Sawan Taka University, I'm pleading with you people that for those of you that have your identity card with you, you should be able to move it, your ID card on campus everywhere you are going, and then be security conscious of yourself. And I would like to talk about the internal security again. I'm pleading with the management of Joseph Sawan Taka University to look into the issue of the internal security, because with the strength, if the internal security have the strength, they can help us go a long way concerning security issues. To the state government, federal government, we are calling on you people to help the school, touch the necessary authorities so that the school, the Joseph Sawan Taka University, will be fenced. And thank you so much, sir, for having us on the program. Thank you.
Okay, and Comrade Yahaya, give us your concluding thoughts. Generally, you are the chairman of NANS Benue Axis. Talk to the students of Joseph Sawan Taka University and the students' community in the state in general, campuses, the ways to strengthen, assure them, as well as strengthen their safety on campuses.
Oh, all right, thank you. Yeah, like I earlier said, that even though it's the responsibility of the government to ensure the security of lives and property of its citizens, we also have our individual responsibility as far as security is also concerned. And by implication, as students in different campuses, not just in Joseph Sawan Taka University, to be security conscious. And what that means is that if you are in a class, you should be acquainted and familiar with your classmates. And so if you notice an unfamiliar face, an unusual movement, you should be able to report to the appropriate authorities for further action to be taken in order to foresaw future this thing. And then students should not move in isolation. You try as much as possible to move with your friends. You look around to notice, security threats and all of that. And I also want to urge the management to do all they can in terms of training and retraining of the, competent staff to mount the security, internal security in all the campuses. And we'd like to also urge the state governments and the federal government, particularly this issue of Joseph Taka Sanwa University, to prevail on the host communities so they can allow the school management to fence the school, disallow the major road that pass through the university, and the federal government to provide funding and adequate measures to ensure, the adequate security of the Nigerian students. Because if you go to the National Assembly, you will have to pass through a lot of gates. You will be checked thoroughly to ensure that the security of the life of less than 400 senators are well protected. And then you have about 880, architecture that will guarantee their safety in schools. And as it is held everywhere, that the strength of a nation is actually known not by the protection of its strongest leaders, but by the protection of its weakest of a population. So we give too much attention to few individuals who are adequately secured to the neglect of Nigerian students in their millions who are not safe in their campuses.
All right. That would be a fine place for us to leave it on today's edition. Comrade Mandi Yahaya is the chairman, National Association of Nigerian Students, NAMS, Benue State Axis. And Comrade Bernard Aundaka is the secretary, Students Union, Joseph Sawan Taka University, Makurdi. And of course, Comrade Isaac Ikesi is the financial.
Thank you, sir.
And earlier on, we also had we appreciate her time too. Dear listeners, agencies with the right information to ensure the safety of our students, and they adopted 3 students at Joseph Sawan Taka University to be released unharmed. My name is Nathaniel Nongo. Have yourself a great week ahead. Goodbye.